Hello, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. This is your tip of the week and it's all about how to use Rickrack in a seam. And I'm also going to go over how to use piping in a seam. Now in case you don't know what Rickrack is, here's a sample of it. And the Rickrack that I usually use is made by Wrights. Now you can get baby size Rickrack, which is really tiny. You can barely see it. Then there's 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, inch. There's a lot of different sizes. What you see here is the most popular size. Now many of you have been watching me for a while, see me put it on a lot of towels. I love using Rickrack as a decorative trim, but you haven't really seen me do much with it on clothing. So I'm going to show you how to take this Rickrack and put it into a seam that's part of a clothing project. On a lot of children's clothing, I like to put Rickrack in their collars. You can also put it on seams elsewhere on the garment, but the collar is one of my favorite places. So I've cut out just this plain collar, nothing special about it, but just to add a little more interest, I want to put the Rickrack in there. So the first thing that I do is there's 2 pieces to the collar, a front and a back. On one of the pieces, you want to place your Rickrack close to the edge here, and then stitch right down the center. And you place it all the way around. Then you take, and you're placing it on the front side or pretty side of the fabric. Then you would take your other piece and lay it on top and pin or use the Wonder Clips to hold it all together. You see my stitch line here? Okay, this stitch line is where the Rickrack was stitched on. So once you have your front and back pieces connected, you stitch, or I should say pinned or clipped together. You stitch right on top of this stitch line. Now, you see the little hills and valley with the Rickrack right there. You want to clip the edges of your fabric all the way around the curve, and I usually will go to right in between those little hills and do a clip. And I will just go to all of those and clip around the entire curved edge. When you are done, then you just want to go in and turn this front side out. Let me get in there and open it up. And you want to just take your fingers in there and push against the seam and just tug on the Rickrack to get it out. And then once you have it all pulled out and in place, you would go to your ironing board and then press it flat. Then go back to your sewing machine, and then you're going to stitch about 1/8 of an inch from the edge of your fabric here and stitch this all down so that it stays in place during the wash and dry cycle. Here's the sample of a little pocket. Maybe you're putting a pocket on a little girl's pants, blouse, or skirt, whatever it is you're making. You can also put it on the seam of a pocket and stitch it down so you could have a little more Rickrack, a little more personality to it. Many little girls, including my own daughter when she was little, loved all of the frilly stuff. You can do the same thing. Here's that same collar pattern, and you can put piping in it. Now you can buy piping already made, which will make it really easy for those of you who are beginners. And what you would do is you would place this piping on the pretty side of your fabric, and this edge of the piping is what goes up against the raw edge of your fabric. And then you would stitch it in here like this, close to the cording that's in there. Now it works best if you have a piping or cording presser foot. So look at your sewing machine store where you bought your sewing machine and ask them that you need a foot that you can make and stitch piping onto different sewing projects. Now, Rickrack is not only just for clothing projects or putting a border on a towel. I often place it into placemats, table runners, and other kitchen projects. So here is an Easter placemat in which I put this. It had different colors in the Rickrack, so it was really pretty. So you can find multicolored Rickrack, and it worked really well. And here is the table runner, just a small little table runner that went with it. And then I also made these little pot holders, or you can set a small dish that's really hot on top of these. Isn't that cute? And then these are little coasters, and they're two-sided, different colors. They've got cotton batting in them with the Rickrack around the edges. Now let me show you one more. This is a towel apron, and it's got a ruffle on it, but the pockets have the little Rickrack trim in it, and this is really easy to make. So you can put these kind of pockets on a garment also. It doesn't have to be just on an apron. You could put it on a skirt, a dress, whatever it is you're making, another type of apron. They're really cute, and they do add a lot of personality. And as I said, these are really easy to make. So if you want the link to how to put all this together, it will be listed below your YouTube screen. So you want to scroll down, look for the description section, expand that description section open, and then you will see all kinds of links there. Well, I hope this video inspired you to start working with Rickrack and incorporating it in as a decorative trim on a lot of your clothing projects, more aprons, and even into your table linens. Now, if you're interested in beginners sewing projects, make sure you check below your YouTube screen for those video links. And also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and make sure you check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching, and happy sewing! If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.